All right. Well, once again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining for tonight's presentation. I'm sure this is not the first presentation that all of you guys have joined in on, but if it is, I want to say a quick welcome. My name is Anna, and I am a former truck travel guide, and now kind of jump in and do these presentations with you guys every once in a while. And joining me tonight is my fantastic co-guide, Hershey, who I personally have had the pleasure of guiding with in the past, and look forward to hopefully doing another trip sometime in the future. But without further ado, let's jump on in to our presentation for this evening. For everyone tonight, which is all of you joining virtually, we just want to give a couple of quick tips. I'm sure everyone here is pretty accustomed to Zoom at this point, but if you're not, I am going to go ahead and ask that everyone goes ahead and mute and turn off your camera at this point. At the end of the presentation, we would love to invite you guys to come back on, turn your cameras on, turn your mics on, and ask any questions that you may have. But for now, we'll turn it all off to make sure that we have a seamless and easy presentation. One quick thing is if you are not seeing my face right now, I do want to make sure that everyone can see me and can also see the presentation that we are presenting. There will be a few tabs along the top of your browser if you're joining from your computer. And if you go ahead and click on one of the tabs that says Hershey Trek Travel to make sure that you're seeing the screen that Jonathan Hirschberger is sharing, that would be awesome. And then last thing I want to point out is the chat box. It looks like it's already been active tonight, so feel free to pop open your chat box. That is a really great place to answer or to put any questions that you might have throughout the presentation, and we can answer them as we go, but we'll also make sure to come back to them towards the end of the night as well when we get to our Q&A. So without further ado, let's jump into our today's route. So at Trek Travel, if you've been with us before, you know that we always start out every single morning with a quick route talk to let our guests know where we're riding that day, what we're going to see, and what we're going to do. So today's route talk, we're going to talk a little bit about who we are at Trek Travel, and then we'll move into why we think that you should travel with us and talk about what sets us apart from our competitors. And then we will climb up to the very top of tonight's event where we will talk about our trip spotlights that Jonathan Hirschberger is going to jump in and run through for us. He has some awesome content lined up for our Vermont gravel trip, as well as our Girona and Costa Brava gravel trip. Two awesome destinations, one here based in the United States and one over abroad in Europe. If you're looking to do a little bit of traveling this year, these are really great options to travel to. Finally, at the end of the night, we'll descend down to how to actually book a trip. And then we'll end, like I mentioned, with some Q&A as well. I love seeing all the notes popping out into the chat. Feel free to add anything in there as we go as well. All right. So tonight, we'll get started with who we are at Trek Travel and a little bit about what we actually do. So at Trek Travel, we believe in taking you on vacations that move you, both literally and figuratively. And we've been curating active vacations all over the world for about 20 years. I shouldn't say about 20 years, I should say over 20 years. And we've been doing it and having a lot of fun as we go. And over those past 20 something years, we've also won countless awards. We take real pride in being voted one of the vacation's top companies by our guests and partners year over year, including being voted number 5 by Travel and Leisure for Best World Tour Operator. And we landed on the Get list in 2023 as well as in 2024, hoping to make another run for it in 2026, thanks to all of you who travel with us. Now, to tell you a little bit about why you should travel with Trek Travel and what sets us apart from other tour operators and our competitors, we might hear it talk about, or you might hear us talk about our secret sauce. And rather than telling you exactly what that is, I'm going to show you instead with this video narrated by our very own Tanya Burke. And she'll kind of run through what those actual components of making our secret sauce are.
Active travel is pure magic. You can hear, taste, see things in a different way and from a different perspective. I close my eyes and I can hear the sound of the cowbells in the Alps. I can taste the best tomatoes in the world in Italy, and I can see that pristine blue lake in Glacier National Park. Biking or hiking through an area allows you to get up close and personal to the place and the people. At Trek Travel, we have cycling trips for every type of traveler. From classic guided vacations in North America and Europe, you can experience the best of a destination with our world-class guides. If you're an avid rider, we have trips that will test your legs, from experiencing the best of the pro cycling scene on our Tour de France trips to training for your next big race on our ride camps. Do you want to adventure off the beaten path? Our gravel bike tours are the perfect fit. They combine classic Trek Travel experience with miles of gravel roads across North America and Europe. For travelers looking to lace up their boots, our hiking and walking tours offer a variety of activity levels, from leisurely strolls in Ireland and Portugal to epic hikes in the French Alps and the Dolomites. All the elements of an incredible trip are fine-tuned and delivered with unparalleled hospitality by our awesome guides. They're focused on making sure we have a seamless and effortless experience for our guests and provide wow moments that you would never expect. From luxury vacations in Mallorca to leisurely riding e-bikes through Bryce and Zion National Parks, whether you're looking for big days in the saddle in Girona, hiking through historic villages in Italy, or planning a private getaway for you and your family or friends, our sole purpose is to make sure you have the best vacation you've ever had, and we look forward to you joining us on your next adventure.
Awesome. I watch that video every time I do these presentations, and I still absolutely love it. It makes me really happy to hear. And it really is like the things that Tanya is saying are things that we instill in our team here at Trek Travel, as well as our guides, to help bring these trips to life and really make them as the best that we possibly can. And part of that, I would say a huge part of that for us that really sets us apart from our competitors are our bikes. We offer top of the line Trek bikes, and it's really unique that we have a partnership with Trek, because that means that we get the latest and greatest and be able to offer them to our guests to try out and get to ride Trek's latest and greatest bikes and technology in the world. So we're really excited to share with you some upgrades that we're launching for the 2026 season ahead. So first up is our standard road bike, the Domani SL7. This is a lightweight carbon road bike with electronic shifting and ideal for smooth pavement on road-focused trips. So this bike isn't changing from what it was last year, just kind of the same bike coming through. But we do want to announce our brand new Checkpoint SL7 AXS Gen 3. So these are what you'd be riding on both of these trips that we're highlighting today, our Vermont gravel and our Costa Brava and Girona gravel trips as well. This is a high performance gravel bike with wireless shifting, a super wide tire to make a really plush and comfortable ride, and it's perfect for the mixed terrain that you'd experience on our gravel trips. This is a really exciting upgrade. This is also a one by shifting if anyone is a shifting and bike nerd. So there's just one gear in the front, and that just means all you have to do is adjust your rear gear and you're ready to ride. So that's really awesome. All right, on the bottom row, we have our e-bikes. The first being our Trek Verve 3 Plus, which if you've joined us on a trip before and have seen some of our bikes, you'll recognize this one. These are brand new Verves coming into this year. So they are the newest and latest and greatest technology from Trek. So it's still that comfortable hybrid e-bike with the pedal assist, so still no throttle. But this is really great for anyone who's looking to make sure that they can ride the distance and just make it a little bit easier because you are on vacation. So if you want to take a little bit of the weight off and opt for an e-bike, this is a great option. Lastly is our electronic assist road bike, which is also brand new for 2026, which is our Checkpoint Plus SL6. And that's also Axis instead of Shimano. This is our first electric gravel slash road bike, so it'll be used simultaneously on both of our trips. And it comes with a really smooth assist and wireless shifting. This is designed for adventure on and off the pavement, and it will be taking the place of our original Domani Plus that we had in years past. This is also a really exciting upgrade. This is going to be make for a much more comfortable ride, whether you're doing off-road or on your pavement, and just kind of offering, again, just the next best thing for our guests to be able to try out. So we're really thrilled about these designs and the upgrades, and we hope you guys are just as excited to try them out as well. One thing I will note about the e-bike for the Checkpoint Plus and or yeah, just for the Checkpoint Plus, there is a small upgrade fee that is associated with that bike as it's not available in all locations. All right, now I'm going to ask everyone to open up the chat box. If you've joined us before, you know the drill. We are going to be doing a quick little Q&A, not a Q&A, a quick little trivia question. So today's trivia question is, what is the key benefit of gravel riding? Is it A, eliminate the need for climbing? B, allow access to quieter, less traveled roads? Is it C, requires advanced technical bike handling skills? Or D, only suitable for professional cyclists? I can tell you which one it's definitely not. But it looks like before I even got through with the rest of the questions. I'm getting everyone flying in with the answers, and it looks like everyone has got it correct today. It is B, allow access to quieter, less traveled roads. This is, I think everyone can agree, the best part about gravel riding. If you've never done it or are gravel curious, this is a huge highlight. It gets you away from the cars, it gets you away from everything else, and it gets you onto the quieter experiences and off-road adventures that you can experience on a gravel bike. Now, let's move on, going towards our activity levels. So you may be wondering what the different activity levels are that you see on our website when you're kind of scrolling through our various trips. So our activity levels are pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. We classify our trips through level 1 through level 4. Level 1 is going to be easier in distance. These are our leisure riders. It's going to be flatter terrain, shorter mileage, and easier as far as technicality goes. And then level 4 obviously will be our hardest. This is our avid trips. This is our classic climbs. These are our ride camps. This is things that involve a lot of climbing, far distances, and a little bit more technicality in terms of riding. How I compare these activity levels in terms of gravel riding, I would say it's about the same, but you'll notice that gravel distances are typically shorter. So you might see gravel routes and see a shorter option and think, oh, that's great. But you really have to look at the activity level as terms of technicality when it comes to gravel riding. Level 4 being much more technical and much more advanced than level 1, 2, or 3. Okay, now we're going to dive into our different trip categories that we have. So our different trip categories are, first and foremost, is our road cycling. This is our bread and butter. These are our road trips that we started with, and these are our broadest category, as I'm sure many of you have joined us on these trips before in the past. Our second category is the one that we're highlighting mostly tonight, which is our gravel cycling category. This was just launched a few years back, and it has been a game changer for us. Our guests absolutely love our gravel trips. I think our guides love guiding the gravel trips because they get you off the beaten path. It's a little bit more rugged, but you're also still pairing it with nice accommodations and good food and the full guided support that you would typically get on a road bike tour. But you might get a little dusty and a little bit dirtier than you do on a road bike. All right, our last category that we have that we launched also just a few years ago is our hiking and walking category. This is newer to us, and this is packed with everything that a great trek travel trip has to offer, just like the gravel trips. It has your best guides, the luxury accommodations, the expert itineraries, the flexibility, and support from start to end of your trail. And it's all delivered with what truly sets us apart, which is our unparalleled hospitality. In this case, though, you're trading your bike for some hiking poles, a water bottle, and a backpack. All right, let's dive into what's included on these trips. So you can see we've separated it out by what's included for all of our style trips on the left-hand side. And then on the right, we have on the top, we'll have what's included in the cycling, and on the bottom right, what's included in the hiking and walking trip. So like I said before, hotels, guides, breakfasts, most of your meals, luggage transfers, all things like that are included on all of your trips. Cycling, you obviously get the bike. You'll also get a helmet, a GPS unit, if you'd like, and then also a flat pack, van support, and all of that good stuff. And then, like I said before, hiking and walking, you'll trade the bike in and you'll get a backpack, some hiking poles, and a water bottle. All right, as far as what is not included, it doesn't leave much much out. But some things that are not included on a guided tour are things like your airfare getting to and from the start and end of the trip, as well as your lodging before and after the trip actually starts. Other things not included are souvenirs that you might pick up along the way, any additional activities or tours that you might opt to do during your guest choice time. And then we note that some meals aren't included because we do invite you in every destination we go to have what we call a guest choice dinner. This allows you to get away from the group or maybe stay with the group, totally up to you, and just kind of adventure out on your own and see something a little different and give you a little bit of time to either maybe just relax or go and explore. But we leave that up to you to do what you like. And then lastly, gratuity for your truck travel guides is also not included in the trip cost. All right, let's open up the chat box one more time. We got one more question for you guys, one more trivia. And I love this picture. This is our Croatia gravel trip. That's an awesome picture. I'm trying to go ride some gravel in Croatia. All right, so how many ride options are typically available on our gravel trips? So this is each day. How many rides do we offer our riders to choose from when we go out for the day? Is it A, two, B, five, C, three, or D, four? Looks like some people got in there even before the answers even popped up. You guys are fast. Wow, this is a good group. Have all you guys been on a gravel trip before? If not, let's get you on one. All right, it looks like everyone got this one right too. The answer is C, which is three. We always try to offer at least three rides for our guests to choose from each day. This usually consists of the today's route, what we call, which is like the standard route. And then we usually offer a shorter option and an avid longer option as well. So everyone can kind of get what they're looking for in each day's ride without anyone having to worry about lapse of support or anything like that. All right. Now we've climbed up to the point that you've all been waiting for, where I get to stop talking about all the things you've maybe heard 100 times, and we get to dive into the trip that you guys are all excited to hear about. So tonight, I'm excited to pass it over to Jonathan Hirschberger, aka Hershey, to run us through both our Vermont and our Girona and Costa Brava gravel trips. So without further ado, take it away, Hirsch.
Awesome, Anna. Thank you so much for all the info and bringing us here to this point tonight. I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited too about the new checkpoints that we have and also our new checkpoint gravel bike. But before that, let's talk about one awesome trip, and that's the magical land of Vermont. Did you know that Vermont has more gravel roads than they do paved? If so, and you want to get off the beaten path, then this trip is for you. It's a 5 day, 4 night journey from Stowe to the Northeast Kingdom. We will experience great coffee, personal favorite, maple creamies, which for some are amazing. And if you haven't had one, it's a local soft served maple ice cream that you can get with maple syrup drizzled on top, maple sprinkles. And if you're like me, you'll bring that stuff home so you can recreate it back in Colorado, along with beer and great food. Vermont is just, it's a special place to ride a bike. And as you can see in this slide here, it's pretty darn stunning. Now, the unpaved surfaces on our Vermont gravel tour, we rate those as intermediate. 70% of the riding is unpaved. You can expect roads that some are smooth, some have sparse gravel. At times, there might be rougher, chunkier gravels. There's definitely going to be potholes from time to time. There'll be ruts, there'll be washboards, but there will be very few cars. You'll get to savor the views as we pedal through covered bridges. We'll go over the rivers, we'll go through the woods, we'll experience all that the Green Mountains and the Northeast Kingdom have to offer. Day one, you get your first taste on this pristine gravel. Shortly after a spin on a bike path through the town of Stowe, we will then kick up and go up this little hill called Heartbreak Hill. And then all of a sudden, the road starts to turn down, the trees open up a little bit, and we are on the first taste of gravel, and it is glorious. And you can see here from this gentleman's smile, it is just fantastic. Day four, latter half of the trip, we are in the Northeast Kingdom. This day, what can I say other than 95% of the route is on unpaved roads? I mean, it's pretty awesome. We'll go through many forests, we'll make our way down, we'll descend, we'll head out to a lake. And then from here, we will, Lake Willoughby, we will then make our way and start climbing back up through the forest and just have one awesome loop ride. And I'll say like this day is truly special. There's whether you do the Avid ride, the Today's ride, or the short ride, there's a lot that you can see and experience. Now, if you've ever thought about New England towns and villages, this trip is for you. And the town of Stowe, I would say it's kept that New England charm. There's a lot of cool shops and right on Main Street. I mean, it just has a nice feel. Old architecture, an old white church, covered bridges, a walkway bridge, as you can see in the slide here. Um, you will have an afternoon and evening to sit out, explore, find a great restaurant, or just sit and watch the world go by. Did you know? And this is actually one of my favorite. Did you know? In 2022, the state of Vermont produced 2.5 million gallons of maple syrup. They produce more maple syrup than any other state. Maple is the state flavor, and the sugar maple is the state tree. It's safe to say, Vermont loves its maple and maple syrup. Your time in Vermont, your guides will explain all the intricacies and the generational methods of producing maple syrup. Um, they'll also take you to places where you can sit and enjoy some. We'll go by the Von Trapp Estate on day 2 of our trip. We'll actually do this amazing climb up. You can stop in, check out the maple syrup. Maple syrup must meet strict quality standards, and it's graded on 4 specific characteristics. There's color of the syrup, there's a clarity of it, there's a density of it, and of course, what we all are going for, that flavor. And if you've never tried Vermont maple syrup, now is your time. In fact, I have a half a gallon of maple syrup in my fridge from last year when I was leading this trip. So, with all that, one last thing to leave you with. Vermont, not only is it special, but if you want to get away from billboards and this constant attention on your eyes, what's great about Vermont, there are no billboards in this state. So that is also pretty cool. I will leave you with this quote from The Sound of Music in honor of the Von Trapps. The hills are alive with the sound of music and no billboards. The songs they have sung for 1,000 years, calling all gravel cyclists to explore its roads. And with that, we say goodbye to Vermont and hello to where dreams are made. Many pros and guests alike flock to Girona to ride the roads and experience life as a pro. Not to mention, Girona has many epic gravel rides and adventures, but one of them is the legendary Traca. They have 4 routes, the shortest being a 50K race, the largest is a 360-kilometer race. It is awesome, and there are so many gravel roads right outside the town that you can explore. The unpaved surfaces on our Girona gravel bike tour are rated for a level 3 to 4 guests. That's, uh, we take you on awesome roads. So 80% of the riding is unpaved. You can expect a mixture of smooth dirt roads, sparse to moderate gravel, some loose sections that you can see here. We'll get into some deeper gravel in some areas. We will definitely be taking you on single track and double track, and you will see what our gravel bikes can do. On day 4, we'll head out to the coast, the rugged coast. That's what Costa Brava actually translates to. You'll get to experience a sunny climate. You'll see the Cape that's out here of El Far. It's Spain's easternmost point of the mainland. It marks where the Pyrenees actually meet the sea. And you'll get to explore this lighthouse that was built in 1853 atop dramatic cliffs. Day 4 is one that is kind of close to my heart. You'll explore Els Angeles. It's an amazing paved road ride. However, we will take you on the unpaved version. Here, you'll climb, we'll showcase the best that this region has to offer. We'll be on smooth and amazing tarmac for a while. We'll get off of the twisting and winding roads onto smooth gravel, hard packed gravel. Some twisty technical sections. Today truly has it all, single track, double track. Your ride, we will reward you with hidden gravel trails atop the Hilltop Sanctuary, which being up on this Hilltop Sanctuary, that's where Salvador Dali was married. So a little bit of history there for you. Not to mention the panoramic views from up top. Me living in Colorado, when you're in Denver, sometimes it's 60 degrees, and then you look towards the mountains and they're snow capped. On top of Els Angeles, when you look out, you'll see the Pyrenees, and sometimes they are snow capped as well. So it's a pretty beautiful and special place. Day 5 is pure magic. Our route will take us through the quiet Catalan countryside. We'll pass old farmhouses, waterways. We'll go through the town of Banyoles, where the 1992 Barcelona Olympic rowing stages were held. We'll enjoy a cafe, a coffee, and of course, a cake break because what is a bike trip and a bike ride without stopping for a little bit of cake and coffee? And then we will tackle our next challenge. This is a winding 10-kilometer ascent. It'll leave you with breathtaking panoramic views of the summit. Every pedal stroke will be worth it, and this is a local climb of Roca Corba. When you're back in Girona, we will wander the cobbled streets of Barrivel. Here you can lose yourself in this historic, ancient section of Girona. The history will unfold before your eyes. We'll check out the Grand Cathedral. You can find hidden gems, shops, restaurants, and of course, cafes. Anna, I did not mention anything about the food yet. And there was a spike years ago when I was getting into cycling called It's Not About the Bike. Well, at Trek Travel, that's partially true. One aspect that sets us apart is our love for the finer things in life. We love sharing the best that the region has to offer. In Catalan, right here in front of us, is a local dish. This is picha picha. It's a casual term. It means small bites that you can share with friends, tapas, happy hour. There's just so many good things. The food in Girona is amazing. It's local, it's fresh, it's not filled with anything other than that's supposed to be there. So if you want to experience the best of the region has to offer, well, you will get to do that. So tonight we have shared two incredible trips with you. For those wanting to, stay close to home, I would say this. Our Vermont gravel trip, it's awesome. You'll bike past the Von Trapp estate. You will experience the best that Vermont has to offer. We'll check out Hill Farmstead Brewery, where when I first got there, all of a sudden I felt like I was back in Belgium. Just this beautiful country farm, great beer. We do a picnic there, and then we continue to bike into the Northeast Kingdom. There is maple syrup, there are maple creamies, and just you're on roads that just have so few people on them. Food's great in Vermont, the coffee is excellent, and we stay at two great hotels. If you're looking for an experience that's more like one hotel only, well, our Girona and Costa Brava gravel trip is calling your name. The Catalan culture is awesome. The riding, you will probably see pros out riding in this area because so many live here. The food is great. Our hotel is awesome. Girona is a cool city. And with that, Anna, I am going to hand it back over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Hirsch. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
you
for
are
all
welcome.
of those. And I know you personally have ridden in both of these areas. And by both, I really mean Costa Brava, Girona, and Vermont. I know that
Yeah,
Costa Brava and Girona are the same, but still. Uh, do you have a preference on which one that you like better?
I gotta be honest, I don't. Like each one is different. If I have time, Girona's a great place to ride a bike, and the Girona gravel trip is really what started it off for us. And
Mhm.
it just has a nice mix of climbing, of flats, coastal. I mean, you get out to the sea. It's incredible. You can even jump in the Mediterranean if you want to. And so, like, it's just this cool, unique mix. But Vermont is also special, like biking in Stowe, going around waterworks, biking up toward the Von Trapp estate, descending down its paved road, heading out to the Northeast Kingdom. Like, you really, depending on what you're looking for, you can't go wrong with either.
I love it. I love it. And we just got a question too. Maybe just answer it while we're talking about them. But John just asked, steeper climbs in Vermont or in Girona? And I think
Man,
they're pretty comparable
yeah.
as far
Uh,
as terrain goes. Would you say the same?
yeah, I would definitely like Vermont's interesting where all the roads, when you start Vermont, like anytime you see something that says like, you know, Point Hill Climb Road or Kings Hill Road or anything that has hill in it, they, for whatever reason, they're like, all right, we're going to start off with 8 to 10% gradient and then it mellows out. So it's always steepest right when it starts, where some of the stuff in Girona is a little bit more gradual, but yeah, it's similar in a lot of ways. I wouldn't say one is more challenging than the other.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Having ridden both, although it is funny because typically when I think of the East Coast, I always think that it's so much steeper. And so, but when it comes to Vermont gravel, it is pretty, it's rolling. And
Yeah.
I know I use that term loosely because a lot of people don't like it when I say things are rolling because that means something different to everyone. But you are generally going up and down all day long. And nothing in either region is very long. I mean, you'll get a lot of elevation gain throughout the day, but things are pretty short before you start descending again. So awesome. All right. Thanks so much, Hirsch, for running us through those two options. And hopefully that gets everyone excited to maybe pick one of these spots to go to this year. And if not here, then I'm going to ask at the end where. But we're going to go into some details on how to actually go ahead and book. So I invite you all to head on over to our website. We have a ton of videos, some key information on our trip pages, a lot more details that you would need to know if you choose a destination. We provide all the travel dates, the pricing, including and also including things like where you should stay pre and post accommodations and where you should fly into and kind of all those details as well. Now, on top of that, when it comes to the travel logistics that you can find on each of the trip pages, we always recommend arriving at least one day in advance before the trip starts to allow for any potential travel delays that might come up. Something that's fun that I'm excited to announce is that I actually have partnered with Trek Travel. I'm currently a travel advisor, and I'm now offering my services to Trek Travel clients. And I am there to help with any flights, pre and post accommodations, anything like that. So once you book with Trek Travel, you can get sent to my way, and I can help book all of the additional details for you outside of your trip. So that's really exciting and just kind of helps you guys make a more seamless vacation so you can just book it and not have to worry about anything else, and your vacation is just planned and ready to go. But if you have more questions about the trip specifics, we definitely encourage you to reach out to our trip consultants as they're more than happy to chat with you and answer any questions you might have. All right, we are heading to the end of our presentation, but I do just want to make a quick plug for these calls that we do every Wednesday evening. You can find these on our website under our resources tab. There'll be a little link for our events, and all of these virtual events that we host can be found in there. And you can feel free to scroll through anything that's coming up and register. If you register for an event, even if you accidentally miss it, no worries. As long as you're registered, you will receive an email copy of the recording, so you can feel free to watch it at a time that works best for you. All right, and then we are going to move into our next event that I just want to give a quick plug for too, which is our Ruby rides. So every first Friday of the month, Trek Travel partners with Ruby to do two group rides that are the same or very similar routes that we actually do on our real Trek Travel trips. So that's kind of fun if you're planning for a ride or you have a trip planned and we do one of the routes that is on that trip, might be kind of fun to do it virtually before you actually go see it in person and just see the amazing scenery that you can get even from the seat of a computer. Although I promise it'll be way better in person. But we do one of them at 1 p.m. Central Time and a second one at 7 p.m. Central Time. So feel free to jump onto our events page and look at those. Our next one coming up will be a ride through North Carolina on Friday, January 30th. So this is not the first Friday of the month. It's actually the last Friday of the month, but just based on the way the months worked out. But this group ride will highlight the redesign of our brand new Asheville to Greenville trip. And by signing up for a Ruby account and joining this ride, you'll receive a $300 off coupon for your next cycling vacation. So if that's not incentive enough to join on this Ruby ride, I don't know what is. You get $300 off your trip. So go ahead and join in on that on January 30th with Trek Travel. And don't worry if you don't have a Ruby account or if you're like, I don't really know how to do all this. It's really easy to sign up. And if you use the code TrekTravel1M, I'll actually put this in the chat right now. If you use this code, make sure to copy and paste that, you'll get your first month for free. So it's kind of no skin off your back. Sign up, do the ride, get your $300 credit. I think that's a pretty big win-win-win. And I think that's about it that I have for Ruby. So we'll go on to how to wrap up and actually book your trip. So after this call, like I said, you'll get a recap email with all the details and a recording of this presentation. Then we encourage you to visit our website, check out all the different trips, filter by either country or by activity level or even the style of trip that you're after. If you know you only want gravel trips, filter for our gravel trips. We have amazing gravel destinations and more are coming out every single year. And then lastly, give us a call to actually book your trip. Our trip consultants are there to help you make any final decisions. They're here to steer you towards the right trip for you and make sure that you're on a trip that you'll make sure that you have fun on. And then I guess the very last is to actually get excited about your trip once it's booked. Don't forget that preparation is part of the fun to get yourself ready. You book this trip, so it's time to get out on your bike, get on the Ruby, get on Zwift, whatever it is, and get some miles under your legs before you jump onto your trip. And then, as always, we always recommend reaching out to your local Trek dealer and Trek shop to make sure that you're hooked up with all the gear that you might need for your trip, like rain jackets and rain layers. Get fitted on one of the bikes if you're not sure what size you are or you're not sure what bike you want to ride on your Trek travel trip. Go take these bikes for a test ride. All of your Trek dealers are equipped with these bikes that we're offering on our trips, and they're more than happy to get you fitted and kind of see how they feel, so you know which one to purchase or to order for your trip. All right, and now wrapping it up finally, we are going to turn off the presentation and thank you all for joining us for this evening. Hershey and I love doing these presentations with you guys, and one of our favorite parts about these presentations is hearing from you at the end. So if anyone wants to turn on their camera, turn on their mic, feel free, and we'd love to hear any questions that you might have. Da, 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 da. Bill asked if we already book a trip, do we still get the $300 credit? I am not equipped to answer that question.
Nor am I, but if you call in and talk to one of our trip consultants, they'll let you know if they can apply it to the trip you're already booked on or if it's good for another trip.
Awesome. And Karen also asked the difference between spring in Girona or fall in Girona. Is there one better than the other? Hirsch, do you want to answer that one?
I gotta be honest, I spring is great, but it always seems to be sometimes rainy and cool, whereas fall in Girona, there's just something special, in my opinion. I love the fall in Girona. It's fantastic.
I'd also say fall in Vermont. If you can get on one of those trips that time it well with the fall foliage, it is absolutely magical to ride through New England in the fall foliage and to be on the quiet gravel roads while everyone else is stuck on the paved roads, backed up in traffic with all the leaf peepers. You're out there kind of going on your own pace. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Um, and Dwight asked about e-bikes. What do we suggest for Germany and Austria? I would say that's a pretty personal question. And definitely one that I would say if you're curious about uh, getting an e-bike, then I would say go and maybe test ride some at a Trek dealer and just kind of see how they feel. However, if you were the one of the only ones without an e-bike, I wouldn't say that's the norm. Um, while we do have tons of e-bikes on our trips, I would say the mix is generally about like 60-40, 60 being the road or gravel bikes and 40 being the e-bikes. And that's something that you can also ask your trip consultant when you're booking what the makeup of the bike forte is. But also at the same time, I wouldn't feel too bad about getting maybe left behind because you're not necessarily getting left behind. Everyone else is just cruising ahead with their pedal assist, which is awesome. But yeah, you're also kind of taking it in and having your own ride and enjoying it at your own pace, and your guides are there to support you through and through. So even though you might be, this is the other thing too, is even though you might think that you're like way off in the back, I know oftentimes guests are like, I'm always the last one. And we're there as guides and we're like, you're like 30 seconds behind. You're really not that much farther behind than everyone else. You just might not be able to see them. It just might feel like that, but you're really not way off in the back. So I don't know if that helps. I don't know if Hershey, if you have anything else you want to add to that. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I was just actually researching one of the other questions on here, but it definitely is personal preference. And we always say when you're on trip with us, it's your day, you decide. And, we support everybody, whether you're on a road bike, an e-bike, a gravel bike, a hybrid e-bike, like we'll make sure that you're taken care of. And I've actually biked in this area, and the bike paths are incredible. The views are amazing. Neuschwanstein Castle those castles are absolutely incredible. So it's definitely going to be an awesome trip.
and it looked like Lisa had the same question for Costa Brava. I will say Costa Brava has a lot more climbing than I think the Germany to Austria trip has. Um, I'm not saying that factually, but I believe it's more climbing than that point to point trip. Um,
Yes.
And so, yeah, I would ask again, just like based on your training and kind of how your comfort level on a bike, if you feel comfortable doing all the miles and doing all the feet of elevation and you're ready, you're gung ho and ready to go for it, I say go for the road bike or the e-bike or the gravel bike. But if you're feeling a little uneasy or maybe you haven't gotten in all the training that you wanted to and you're maybe not in the shape that you maybe wanted to be in before you go on the trip, then maybe an e-bike option would be a great option for you because then you can always ride with it off um,
Yeah.
and just ride like a normal bike, but then just use it when you need it. We have a lot of people who do that as well. So awesome. Any other questions? Thank you, Dwight. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Yes, and hopefully we'll see you all on Ruby on January 30th.
Yeah, I love Ruby. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm Ruby curious, so I'm going to try it out too. Maybe I'll join
Yeah.
in for that
Why
too.
not? You get a free month. And I believe if you do the Trek Travel Ruby, you also get your little character gets a Trek Travel jersey.
Ooh, fun. I
Yeah.
love
Right?
that.
Why not?
All right. Well, thank you all. We'll leave you to your evenings. We'll give you 15 minutes back in your evening, and we hope to see you guys all next time. Have a
Yeah.
great
Thank you,
one.
everybody. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Ciao.